Hello everybody, this is Alec Steele here. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about how you can make a spatula for cooking on the barbecue, cooking at home, or... Okay, if you're into that stuff, that's fine by me. Let's just get back to the forging. So, we're going to be working half on, half off the far edge of the anvil with the round die. Now this is a wonderfully aggressive way of forging, however, as you can see, when that lump comes back around onto the top surface, we're able to hit it flush with the steel. And it means that we can keep an even surface on our forged metal. Here I'm going back in with the flat of my hammer, still working all four sides, half on, half off, and you can see how it blends it in and allows for a very clean taper. This is a technique that was showed to me by Brian Brazil during the Tools to Make Tools curriculum. After cleaning it off and working it down to a black heat, I will take off the corners and then flatten everything again. I like keeping these things crisp. After having roughed out my taper and crisped up most of it, I'll then create the shoulder, leaving about 4 inches of the half-inch square bar that we're using for our spatula. You'll notice the piece has bent. I'm not going to straighten that until it's hot. The reason for this, contrary to what a lot of people will say, is obviously, when it's cold, it's more prone to breaking. You're more prone to stressing it. And if we can do things when they're hot, why not? I think it saves a lot of time. So after flattening the top of the diagonal, I'll then take my cross-beam hammer and I'll start working in the middle of our spatula end. So I'm working just the middle and I'm flipping. What this is creating is it's creating a hollow, which I can then flip over, which will mean there's less surface area contact on the anvil, which means that the anvil's taking less heat away. With such a large piece of steel, we must remember, of course, that that anvil is going to suck all the heat out of there as fast as possible. Now, the reason we start from the middle and we don't hit the edges until the very, very end is because if you would imagine, the edges, they do cool down faster. That's a fact. There's less volume in them, so they keep their heat a lot less. So if you imagine a brittle edge, and then you imagine trying to move the steel within the edge, i.e. within our spatula form, by having tapered out the edge and then having a thick section in the middle and having to hit the thick section in the middle, it would mean that we'd be putting a lot of stress on the cold and brittle edge, and so it can fracture. This is a common problem a lot of people will have with their leaves. After having cleaned up the whole spatula blade, after taking it from the cross peen to the round die, I'll take it into the vise with a light heat, and with a few taps with the wooden mallet, I'll be able to bend it over and give it a little more shape. After having cut it off, and let it cool down, of course, and turned it around, I'll begin to forge a little hanging eye for our spatula. And again, this is working on the near side of the anvil with half hammer face blows. This isolates this two-sided shoulder and allows us to have this blob of material to draw out into our taper. I'm going to put this backwards bend in it to help centralize the circle when we curl it over. And then gently brushing with my hammer over the far edge, not hitting, more brushing, I will begin to roll over the eye, used for hanging it on a hook or attaching a piece of string to it if you're into the tactical stuff. Once I have my eye created, it's on to some of the final steps, such as putting a curve throughout the whole piece, which greatly adds to the overall aesthetics and the overall ergonomics of the tool. It makes it a wonderful tool to use at the barbecue or in the kitchen. And then with a hot oil finish at about 500 degrees Celsius, we're finished with this beautiful food safe, provided you use a clean rag and olive oil, spatula for the barbecue or kitchen. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you have a lovely day. I've had a pleasure making this. Please do hit subscribe if you want to see more. I make new videos every week. And if you want to help support the channel, click like. And if you want to find out more, head over to www.blacksmithingtools.co.uk. It's been a pleasure, folks. Have a great day.